Taiwan Strait, international waters. United States Navy destroyer USS Ralph Johnson, DDG-114. Arleigh Burke-class Flight 2A. Displacement, 9,200 tons. Length, 509 feet. Crew, 323. Conducting freedom of navigation operation. Standard transit, professional execution. Course, steady northbound. Speed, 20 knots. Until Chinese Type 052D destroyer Changsha appeared. Hull number 173. Displacement, 7,500 tons. Length, 512 feet. Crew, 280. Position, 3 nautical miles starboard. Parallel course. Standard shadowing. Professional monitoring. Then everything changed. At 3:47 p.m. local time, Chinese destroyer turned hard to port. Emergency maneuver. 35 knots. Maximum speed. Course, direct intercept. Crossing American destroyer's bow. Range, closing rapidly. 2,000 yards. 1,500 yards. 1,000 yards. Dangerous maneuver. International maritime law violation. Collision risk. Extreme. Chinese Captain Zhou Wei commanded aggressive approach. Orders from Southern Theater Command. Intimidate American destroyer. Force course change. Demonstrate Chinese control Taiwan Strait. Show dominance. Tactic. Dangerous navigation. Harassment through collision threat. Force Americans to yield. Captain Zhou thought speed guaranteed intimidation. Thought Americans would turn away. Thought collision risk forced compliance. He was catastrophically wrong. USS Ralph Johnson didn't turn, didn't slow, didn't yield. Instead, activated fire control radar. AN/SPG-62 illuminator. Weapons quality track. Missile lock achieved. Chinese destroyer targeted. Message delivered instantly. Changed everything. What happened next demonstrated why dangerous navigation against American warships triggers overwhelming response. Radar lock forced Chinese retreat. Immediate. Complete. Humiliating. USS Ralph Johnson. Arleigh Burke-class Flight 2A destroyer. Commander Sarah Chen commanded. 14 years Navy experience. Combat veteran. Persian Gulf operations. She observed tactical display. Chinese destroyer. Parallel course. Standard shadowing. Professional monitoring. Nothing unusual. Until CIC reported. Captain. Chinese destroyer maneuvering. Hard turn port. Intercept course. Speed 35 knots. Assess bow crossing attempt. Commander Chen observed display. Chinese vessel, turning aggressively. Course, direct intercept. Range, decreasing rapidly. Intent, obvious. Dangerous navigation. Collision threat. International violation. Chinese destroyer Changsha, Type 052D guided missile destroyer. Captain Zhou Wei commanded, former submarine officer, transferred surface fleet, aggressive reputation, political connections. He received orders, intimidate American transit, force course change, demonstrate control. He positioned 3 miles from Americans, observed their steady course, 20 knots, professional, predictable, then ordered, hard left rudder, maximum speed, course, intercept American destroyer, cross their bow, force them to turn. Orders, dangerous, illegal, potentially catastrophic, but politically motivated. Beijing, demanding demonstrations. Which response best addresses dangerous navigation harassment? A. Course change to avoid. B. Maintain course and speed. C. Activate weapon systems as warning. At 3:47:23 p.m., Chinese destroyer Changsha turned hard. Emergency maneuver, 35 knots achieved. Powerful engines, modern destroyer, turning rapidly. Course, 047 degrees. Direct intercept with American destroyer course, 02 degrees. Range, 2,400 yards. Closing velocity, 48 knots combined. Time to intersection, under 3 minutes. Collision course. Captain Zhou transmitted, American destroyer, alter course. You are approaching Chinese territorial waters. Turn away immediately. Claims, false. Location, international waters, verified. Position, 12 nautical miles from Chinese coast. International strait, freedom of navigation, legal transit. Stay with me. What happened in next 2 minutes, 47 seconds became dangerous navigation response demonstration, showing why threatening American warships with collision triggers instant weapon system activation. Commander Chen assessed situation. Chinese destroyer. Aggressive maneuver. Collision course. Range, 2,100 yards. Closing. 2 options. Turn away or hold course. Turning. Validates Chinese harassment. Encourages future attempts. Holding course. Maintains freedom of navigation, but requires deterrent. She ordered, maintain course and speed. Weapons control. Prepare fire control radar. Chinese destroyer aggressive. Assess collision threat. Ready defensive response. This is where Navy Wire brings you inside dangerous navigation response operations. Where Chinese harassment meets American resolve. Where collision threats face weapon system activation. Where dangerous maneuvers trigger overwhelming deterrence. Superior capability. Superior determination. Superior outcomes. At 3:48:07 p.m., range 1,800 yards. Chinese destroyer, still approaching, full speed. Bow pointed directly at American destroyer's projected position. Intersection, 97 seconds. Captain Joe confident. Americans would turn, must turn. Collision avoidance, required. International maritime law demands action from both vessels. He expected American compliance. Reality, American resolve. Combat Information Center aboard Ralph Johnson calculated precisely. Chinese destroyer, 1,800 yards. Speed, 35 knots. American destroyer, steady 20 knots. Intersection point, 1,400 yards ahead. Time, 97 seconds. Closest point of approach if neither vessel turns, 150 yards. Collision risk, extreme. But Commander Chen, not turning. Instead ordered, fire control. Activate AN/SPG-62. Illuminate Chinese destroyer. Weapons quality track. Show them consequences. At 3:48:34 p.m., USS Ralph Johnson activated fire control radar. AN/SPG-62 illuminator. X-band. Powerful beam. Directed at Chinese destroyer Changsha. Weapons quality tracking. Missile guidance capable. Chinese radar warning receivers. Screamed immediately. Missile lock indication. Fire control illumination. Weapons engagement imminent. Captain Joe's bridge. Alarm systems. Radar warning displays. Flashing. Audio alerts. Continuous. Message unmistakable. American destroyer locked weapons. Engagement possible. Impact, seconds after launch. How fast can SM-2 missile reach target at 1,800 yards? A. 15 seconds. B. 8 seconds. C. 4 seconds flight time. Answer at the end. Captain Joe observed radar warning indicators. Fire control illumination. Weapons lock. Missile launch, seconds away. His aggressive maneuver now threatened his ship. Range, 1,600 yards. Still closing. But American weapons, ready, locked. His destroyer, targeted. Chinese anti-ship missiles, require minutes preparation. American SM-2, ready instantly. Vertical launch, no preparation, just fire command. 4 seconds flight time at current range. His ship, destroyed before return fire possible. His aggressive navigation, becoming suicide approach. If you believe fire control radar activation is appropriate response to collision threats, type Navy Wire in the comments. Captain Joe transmitted emergency. Southern Theater Command. American destroyer activated fire control radar. Weapons lock achieved. Missile launch imminent. Recommend abort maneuver. Response delayed. Beijing, evaluating. 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Range, 1,400 yards, 40 seconds. Still closing, still locked. Finally response. Abort maneuver. Emergency turn. Avoid engagement. Minimize international exposure. Orders, retreat. Admission, miscalculation. American resolve, underestimated. At 3:49:17 p.m., Captain Joe ordered, emergency right rudder, maximum, all engines back full, abort approach. Chinese destroyer Changsha turned hard. Emergency maneuver. Maximum rudder. Engines reversing. Tremendous forces. Ship heeling. Turning away. Range from American destroyer, now 200 yards. Closest approach, aborted. Collision threat, eliminated. Dangerous navigation, abandoned. Fire control illumination, maintaining. Radar lock, continuing. Message, clear. Turn away completely or face engagement. Commander Chen maintained course. Steady 20 knots, no deviation. Fire control radar, active. Tracking Chinese destroyer. Throughout emergency turn, throughout retreat. Demonstrating. Weapons lock maintained. Engagement possible anytime. Until Chinese destroyer. Clear separation. Range, 2,000 yards. 2,500 yards. 3,000 yards. Threat eliminated. She ordered. Secure fire control radar. Maintain tactical alert. Continue freedom of navigation transit. Document everything. What would you have done if commanding destroyer facing aggressive bow crossing maneuver? Comment your tactical decision below. Commander Chen transmitted, 7th Fleet, Ralph Johnson, Chinese destroyer attempted dangerous bow crossing maneuver. Range reached 200 yards. Activated fire control radar. Achieved weapons lock. Chinese vessel aborted approach. Emergency turn. Freedom of navigation maintained. Continuing transit. Professional report. Clinical assessment. Chinese harassment. Answered with weapon system activation. Dangerous navigation. Deterred through fire control demonstration. International transit. Uninterrupted. But Commander Chen added open frequency transmission. All vessels monitoring Taiwan Strait. This is United States Navy destroyer Ralph Johnson. Chinese warship Changsha conducted dangerous navigation in violation of international maritime law. Collision risk created deliberately. We responded with defensive weapon system activation. Fire control radar illumination. Missile lock achieved. Chinese vessel forced to abort maneuver. Freedom of navigation maintained. International community observing. Transmission received by Japanese destroyer, Taiwanese frigate, Korean warship, Australian vessel. Everyone monitoring. Chinese harassment, documented publicly. American response, validated internationally. Fire control activation, witnessed regionally. Tactical assessment revealed Chinese strategic miscalculation. Attempt bow crossing maneuver. Force American course change. Demonstrate control Taiwan Strait. Show dominance. Expected. American yielding. Reality. American maintained course. Activated weapon systems. Achieved fire control lock. Forced Chinese emergency turn. Dangerous navigation. Failed completely. American resolve. Demonstrated. Chinese intimidation. Reversed. International exposure. Comprehensive. Quantity or quality in harassment deterrence? Comment Q for quality or L for quality. USS Ralph Johnson demonstrated Arleigh Burke-class fire control capability. AN/SPG-62 illuminator. Instant activation. Weapons quality tracking. Immediate. Missile lock. Achieved rapidly. Against aggressive Chinese destroyer. Completely effective. Deterrence. Instant. Response. Overwhelming. Without firing missile. Mission accomplished. This is modern destroyer capability. Fire control. Powerful deterrent. Weapons lock. Changes everything. Against dangerous navigation. Perfect response. AN/SPG-62 fire control radar proved psychological warfare effectiveness. X-band illumination. Unmistakable. Radar warning receivers. Immediate alarm. Missile lock. Clear indication. Psychological impact. Tremendous. Chinese captain. Understood vulnerability. His ship. Targeted. Engagement. Seconds away. Against aggressive maneuver. Perfect deterrent. Without violence. Maximum effect. This is electronic warfare. Silent intimidation. Overwhelming psychological pressure. SM-2 missile readiness demonstrated instant response capability. Vertical launch system. No preparation required. Missiles. Ready always. Fire command. Immediate launch. Flight time. Seconds at close range. Against Chinese destroyer. devastating threat. Captain Joe, understood completely. Fire control lock, meant instant destruction possible. His emergency turn, rational response. Self-preservation, overwhelming aggressive orders. This is missile deterrence, instant capability, perfect readiness. Freedom of navigation doctrine validated through resolve. Maintain course, hold speed, activate weapons, demonstrate capability, force aggressor retreat. Against Chinese harassment, completely effective. International waters, defended. Professional transit, uninterrupted. American resolve, proven. Regional allies, reassured. This is freedom of navigation, defended through strength, maintained through capability, protected through resolve. Which technology dominates 2030 maritime harassment? Physical intimidation, weapons locks, or AI threat assessment? Comment your prediction. Chinese government response was embarrassing explanation. Official statements claimed routine navigation, close encounter, professional handling, but evidence contradicted. Aggressive turn documented, collision course recorded, fire control activation witnessed, emergency retreat photographed, no routine navigation, deliberate harassment, complete failure, international humiliation. Southern Theater Command investigated Captain Joe. Political connections, insufficient protection, dangerous maneuver, career ending, professional judgment questioned. American diplomatic response was international law emphasis, freedom of navigation, legal right, Taiwan Strait, international waters, Chinese harassment, illegal, dangerous navigation, violation, fire control activation, defensive response, proportional, appropriate, legal, evidence, comprehensive, video released, radar tracks, published, Chinese emergency turn, documented, international community, supported American action, regional stability, maintained through resolve. Regional allies observed and strengthened resolve. Japan endorsed American response. Taiwan supported freedom of navigation. South Korea backed weapons activation. Australia committed increased transits. Philippines praised deterrence. When Chinese dangerous navigation gets answered with fire control lock, region responds with unified support. Transit coordination increased. Intelligence sharing enhanced. Collective navigation strengthened. Strategic partnership validated through American resolve. Congressional response was Taiwan Strait transit validation, freedom of navigation, essential. Chinese harassment, unacceptable. Fire control response, appropriate. Weapons lock, proper deterrence. Commander Chen, commended. Destroyer capability, validated. Transit frequency, authorized increase. Chinese intimidation, answered with congressional resolve. April 9th proved transit doctrine, validated response procedures, demonstrated professional capability. The 280 Chinese destroyer crew experienced professional humiliation. Captain's aggressive orders nearly destroyed them. Fire control lock, death seconds away. Emergency maneuver, saved ship. But reputation, destroyed. International exposure, complete. Professional competence, questioned. Captain Joe, relieved command. Officers, investigated. Crew, demoralized. Career impacts, severe. Single harassment attempt, comprehensive professional disaster. Future Chinese captains, learned lesson. American resolve, not theoretical. Weapons locks, not bluffing. International maritime community analyzed comprehensively. Dangerous navigation, illegal harassment, collision risk, international violation, fire control activation, appropriate defense, weapons lock, proper deterrence, emergency Chinese retreat, rational response. This became primary case study. Maritime law curriculum, harassment response doctrine, fire control employment, deterrence procedures. Chinese failure educated global naval community through spectacular retreat following weapons lock. Was this incident harassment response, weapons deterrence, or navigation defense? Leave your analysis in the comments. And while you're there, tell us, what strait operations should Navy Wire cover next? Your engagement shapes our content. Your support makes this possible. To hostile forces, understand that bow-crossing American warships guarantees fire control activation. Chinese Changsha learned. Aggressive turn executed. Maximum speed. Collision course. Range, 1-200 yards. American response, weapons lock. Fire control radar. Missile guidance. Engagement, seconds away. Emergency Chinese retreat. Forced. This is guaranteed outcome. American destroyers. Maintain course. Activate weapons. Achieve locks. Force retreat. Don't attempt dangerous navigation. Don't threaten collision. Don't test American resolve. To American destroyer crews, understand that Commander Chen and USS Ralph Johnson showed exceptional resolve, maintained course under collision threat, activated fire control radar, achieved weapons lock, forced Chinese retreat. This is destroyer professionalism. This is proper deterrence. When facing harassment, hold position. When threatened, activate weapons. When locked, force retreat. April 9th proved fire control works. Weapons locks deter. American resolve prevails. Taiwan Strait remains international water. Freedom of navigation continues. Chinese harassment answered with weapons activation. Dangerous navigation, deterred through fire control. When China attempts bow crossing, American response, missile lock, instant, professional, overwhelming. Chinese intimidation, futile. American capability, decisive. Regional stability, maintained. Allied strait cooperation increased dramatically. Japan committed coordinated transits. Taiwan enhanced monitoring. South Korea supported operations. Australia joined freedom of navigation. When Chinese harassment gets answered with American fire control, region responds with increased participation. Transit frequency, expanded. Intelligence coordination, enhanced. Strategic commitment, strengthened. If you made it this far, you understand what freedom of navigation requires. You've witnessed dangerous navigation response. You've seen fire control deterrence. You've learned why collision threats fail. This is Navy Wire, where we break down strait operations, where harassment response gets serious analysis, where weapons deterrence is explained, where American resolve is celebrated. Subscribe now. Join our community of serious naval analysts. Hit notification bell so you never miss navigation operations coverage. Support this channel by hitting like button immediately. Share this video with someone needing to understand maritime deterrence. Comment your thoughts on fire control activation. Your engagement helps us grow. Your support enables detailed analysis. Your passion drives this channel forward. Build Navy Wire community with us. 3 final questions. Which system proved most effective? Which decision most critical? What navigation operation should we analyze next? Drop answers below. Debate, discuss, engage. Your comments shape future content. Quiz answer. 4 seconds flight time. SM-2 missile from vertical launch system would reach Chinese destroyer at 1,800 yards in approximately 4 seconds, given Mach 3+ speed, demonstrating that fire control lock meant Chinese ship faced instant destruction if missile launched, making emergency retreat the only rational response. The strait enforces resolve. Chinese destroyer attempted harassment. Changsha, aggressive turn, 35 knots. Collision course. Range, 1,200 yards minimum. Deliberate threat. International violation. American destroyer, held course. Maintained speed. Professional discipline. Then activated weapons. Fire control radar. AN/SPG-62 illumination. Missile lock achieved. Chinese warning systems. Screaming. Death. Seconds away. Emergency Chinese turn. Maximum rudder. Engines reverse. Abort maneuver. Retreat forced. 2 minutes 47 seconds. Harassment to humiliation. This is American resolve. This is weapons deterrence. This is fire control effectiveness. April 9th proved absolutely. Dangerous navigation, answered. Weapons locks, decisive. Chinese intimidation, futile. Definitively, professionally, overwhelmingly. Subscribe to Navy Wire, where we analyze strait operations demonstrating American navigation resolve. where fire control deterrence receives tactical breakdown, where harassment response gets serious analysis, where weapons locks are explained and celebrated, where American determination is recognized completely. This is Navy Wire. This is navigation reality. This is your community. Welcome aboard.